Late last week, Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee voted to issue subpoenas to the two wealthy Republican donors at the center of the Supreme Court payoff scandal. Those people are, of course, Harlan Crow and conservative activist Leonard Leo. Democrats have been trying for some time now in the Senate to get these two men to come on in and testify and tell us exactly what you're doing to essentially buy Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and possibly others. Now, Republicans have been against this from the start, right? We don't need any kind of investigation into the people we put on the bench. Let's just let sleeping dogs lie, right? So before Democrats on the committee were able to even hold the vote, Republicans on the committee, led by Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, staged a walkout. They said, nope, absolutely not. We do not like accountability. We do not like having a credible court system. We're out. We ain't going to sit here for this crap. So they left. And then with only 11 Democrats there, they were like, well, they chose to leave. We can hold the vote and authorize the subpoenas. And that's exactly what they did. They didn't wait for the Republicans to come back. Republicans voluntarily left. So they said, screw it. Let's do it, guys. We have the authority. Let's authorize these subpoenas. Now, for the record, these subpoenas still have to be authorized by a 60-vote majority in the Senate. That ain't going to happen. So that sucks. But we got baby steps, right? We got a little bit. But most importantly, regardless of the outcome of the full vote in the Senate on these subpoenas, we have now hard evidence that proves that Republicans do not actually care about accountability. Republicans do not actually care about corruption, even on the Supreme Court, or I should say, especially on the Supreme Court. They like it. They're benefiting from it, right? Not to mention the fact, again, those are their guys. It's Clarence Thomas. It's Alito. It's possibly even more of them that have engaged in this, hey, I'm going to take all these gifts. I'm not going to report the gifts. I'm going to rule on cases that involve these guys, and I'm not going to say anything. For a lower court judge, that'll get you kicked off the bench immediately. But for the Supreme Court, we have no enforceable code of ethics. And you may be thinking to yourself, but Farron, gosh, the Supreme Court actually just put a code of ethics onto themselves. Yes, they did. But did you know that the code of ethics that they put upon themselves has no enforcement capabilities? And it allows them to police themselves, but they can't do anything. They can't enforce it. There's no enforcement mechanism in the ethics that they just put on themselves. So it's useless. It's all for show. It's to try to make this investigation in the Senate disappear. That's what it's all about. Republicans, especially those in the House right now, are pretending like the Democrats are the one ignoring corruption, right? We're ignoring Hunter Biden's corruption. We're ignoring Joe Biden's corruption. We're ignoring the political persecution of the January 6th Capitol rioters. We're ignoring the weaponization of the government against Donald Trump. No, we're not. Those are actually very serious issues, and they're being taken very seriously. Republicans, on the other hand, are not interested in justice. They're not interested in accountability because accountability typically doesn't work out in favor of the Republicans. Just ask recently expelled member of Congress George Santos. Republicans hate accountability because they're the ones who always end up getting exposed. And that's what those Republicans in the Senate were walking out to avoid last week.